5 on your side at 10 starts now.
This heat wave rolls on for a few more days. We're tracking how long we have to wait for the heat to break and any weekend rain chances.
As our dangerous heat streak continues, we're digging into the resources available to help neighbors stay cool.
And if we could save just one life, we have done our job.
A community is coming together after a vicious attack leaves a nursing student with serious injuries.
Loving each other and coming together and just, we're all God's children, man.
We're tracking the family's fight for justice tonight.
5 on your side starts now with a weather impact alert.
The extreme heat is not letting up tonight. Here's a live look over downtown St. Louis as we brace for another hot weekend. Thanks so much for staying with us at 10. I'm Kelly Jackson. Let's get right over to Chief Meteorologist Scott Conlon with the weather impact forecast. And it's not pretty, Scott.
No, it's not. Temperatures are still near 90 in St. Louis. Our weather impact alert continuing through the weekend into early next week. Here's what's new. The heat warning has expanded, not only including the metro area, but now extends farther east into Illinois through Tuesday. Widespread rain, still expecting that to stay to our north, but we've seen a couple of scattered storms tonight, and that provides some brief relief. So the afternoon and evening hours, that's your prime time for those scattered storms. When you're not anywhere close to those, though, look at that, 88 in Berkeley, 88 in Creve Coeur, still 83 in Arnold and Mascoutah and Troy, Illinois right now. You look to the north of St. Louis, you've seen some lightning to the north. Quite a light show up here. There's a fair amount of lightning with these thunderstorms. The strongest is north of Pittsfield and then northwest of Springfield. So the strongest storms are out of our area, and they're tending to drift towards the east and northeast, so away from St. Louis. Don't think most of us are going to see storms tonight as that moves away. What we will see tomorrow afternoon, the chance for a few spot storms, and outside of that, you're looking at heat index values tomorrow and Sunday that again are above 105 degrees in many spots. I know a lot of folks are still busy trying to catch up with so much ongoing construction work and rebuilding. Tomorrow, excessive heat continues. Just make sure you're staying hydrated. We're back into the 90s for highs for the next few days.
And surviving the dangerous heat is especially critical for anyone who's going to be outside. New at 10, 5 on your side's Robert Townsend continues our team coverage with a look at what officials are doing to help keep people safe.
We're just out here, trying to have some fun.
On a sweltering summer evening, Crystal Walker and her daughters had fun in the sun for 4 hours at O'Fallon Park in North St. Louis. They tried to stay cool by walking around and splashing in this fountain.
Well, we just bring water with us. We wet some towels, maybe bring some ice.
4 hours?
I'm a tropical person. I like the heat.
An excessive heat warning has now been extended for the St. Louis area. Forecasters say that means when you factor in the heat indices, those upper 90-degree dog days of summer could feel like triple-digit temperatures.
We're trying to just, make sure that we're being cognizant of the additional heat.
According to the city's website, currently there are 26 cooling centers open for homeless people and anyone else needing an air-conditioned place to go to. During the extreme heat wave, city officials are also remembering the many people hit hard by the devastating May 16th tornado.
As a result of the tornado, a lot of folks, can't keep their homes cool. They don't have roofs. They don't have fully intact walls. So we've added some additional cooling centers. We're distributing extra water.
Officials have also set up cooling stations like the ones pictured here near homeless encampments and at several city parks. A longtime regional nonprofit is also pitching in, doing what it can to help people survive the dangerous heat.
It's critically important.
As of July 1st, CoolDownStLouis.org has distributed free air conditioners to 3,500 families. It's also assisted 25,000 people with their utility bills.
We're worried about people doing two things. People not checking on the seniors and the physically disabled. And when they do, we want to make sure they keep the air conditioners on.
Back at O'Fallon Park as she sprays herself with water, Crystal Walker looks to the sky and prays.
A little bit of rain right now would be nice.
Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
We have more resources on how to stay safe in this dangerous heat. Visit KSDK.com. You can also send that link. We can also send that link to your phone. Just text the word HEAT to 314-425-5355. Tonight, a Bethalto, Illinois man is behind bars accused of brutally beating a man at his apartment before setting a vehicle on fire. Relatives of the 22-year-old victim say the suspect yelled homophobic slurs at him just before the attack. As 5 on your side's Brent Solomon explains, it took a SWAT unit to get the suspect into custody.
It was just before 11 Saturday morning. Police in Bethalto, Illinois, getting a call of someone breaking car windows and setting a vehicle on fire.
Yeah, that truck was fully involved. It was rolling.
Eric Schmidt lives just a few doors down.
The whole neighborhood was outside watching this thing go down.
Neighbors were told to get out so firefighters could put out the flames.
And let me show you this. Here at the apartment complex, you can still see the siding that is melted. The flames from that car reaching the exterior of the building.
22-year-old Winston Rulo, who lives here, came out, but only after being severely beaten in the hallway inside. Rulo's relatives say his own neighbor, Joshua Morrison, yelled a homophobic slur before attacking him. According to court documents, Morrison repeatedly struck Rulo in the face and head, causing skull, nose, and eye fractures. Relatives say the victim has been openly gay since he was a teenager and had never spoken to his neighbor in the years they've lived here.
That's the last thing this world needs right now. Like loving each other and coming together and just, we're all God's children, man.
Police say when they showed up, Morrison wouldn't come out of his home, so the SWAT team arrived.
They rolled in heavy, came up, their big, the SWAT truck and everything, and pulled up, and they were ready to do business. And I mean, no sooner they were out of that truck, shot flashbangs into the backside of the house, and it was probably about 30 minutes after that they had him.
Morrison is now charged with 3 felonies: aggravated arson, aggravated battery, and arson.
It was chaos.
Brent Solomon, 5 on your side.
Rulo's family is requesting charges be upgraded to include a hate crime. Rulo does not have health insurance. There are GoFundMe fundraisers to help with medical expenses. You can find a link to it in the As Seen on TV section of KSDK.com. We are getting new images of what happened moments after a massive chemical spill in Hazelwood. It happened this morning at a facility owned by Boeing. One witness says this yellow cloud appeared in the air as everything unfolded.
And we saw a yellow cloud outside of the door of the Boeing building. It got pretty high. It got higher up than the roof of the building, and the ground turned yellow.
Officials say 4,000 gallons of nitric acid gushed out of a tanker and poured into the facility's parking lot. At last check, crews were still working to clean up the mess. We've also learned an unknown amount of the chemical drained into a spillway that feeds into Coldwater Creek.
There is no concern to the public for any hazardous materials release. Again, any product that may have gotten into the creek will be cleaned up here on site.
Boeing officials released a statement saying employee safety is their top priority, and they're working with the Hazelwood Fire Department to safely resolve the situation. Right now, police are investigating a deadly shooting in the Carr Square neighborhood. Officers say they found an 18-year-old shot multiple times near Biddle and Bryant Streets just before 1:30 this morning. He died at the hospital. Police are urging anyone with information to call Crime Stoppers. It's an anonymous tip line, 866-371-TIPS. We are learning more about what led up to an 11-year-old being shot this week in Cahokia Heights. Today, the Major K Squad said the boy was leaving a friend's house on his bike when a bullet hit him in the head. The child remains in the hospital in critical condition. Jeremiah Johnson is charged in the case. Police say Johnson and several others got into an argument and they started shooting at each other.
I will remind those that want to come to Cahokia Heights and continue to conduct reckless and make reckless decisions. We will continue to relentlessly pursue those who make these decisions in our communities. Our communities deserve to be safe.
Police say a second person is now in custody. They're still looking for anyone else involved. Neighbors in South St. Louis say a massive sinkhole has turned their street into a safety hazard. It's in front of a home on Potomac Street in the Gravois Park neighborhood. They tell Megan Kernan the hole is getting bigger and now squatters have taken over the house next to it.
The first complaint from anyone there was in 2017, so it's been going on for at least 8 years.
It's like a crater in the middle of Potomac Street, stretching nearly 40 feet wide and sinking almost 2 feet deep. Neighbors say this sinkhole has been growing for years, and it's swallowing more than just the street.
We had it rented through September of last year. During last summer, the tenant started complaining to us and to the city about the sinkhole and that it was getting worse, and we eventually let them out of their lease.
The sinkhole sits in front of Adam Custro's home. He hasn't been able to rent it for almost a year, and now squatters keep moving in. 5 on Your Side actually captured multiple people leaving the house today.
The air conditioner's been stolen. We boarded it up multiple times.
Across the street, Zach Campbell says drivers are swerving to avoid the crumbling pavement.
It doesn't make sense that it's still there. I mean, does it start there and end there, or does it start there and then it goes all the way up the street?
Zach says he's also worried another hole could be forming around the sewer in front of his home.
You can see the old brick street below there, and then you can see below the old brick street. So it makes me think that this sinkhole problem, just like all the sinkholes opening up in St. Louis, is a bigger deal than a lot of citizens even know about. But it's a problem.
Residents say their complaints to the city have gone unanswered for years.
I think there should be a study done and to figure out what the heck is going on beneath the St. Louis streets.
Megan Kernan, 5 on Your Side.
Alderwoman Alicia Saunier says a geotech contractor is investigating the cause of the sinkhole, with results expected in 2 weeks. The city's streets department tells us they have placed new barricades and closed off the sunken section of Potomac this afternoon while engineers investigate. And the city says it doesn't appear to be linked to aging infrastructure. Today, Sheriff Alfred Montgomery's latest hire turned down the job. Sonia Jenkins Gray didn't accept Montgomery's offer to be his HR director. She is currently on the new St. Louis Police Commissioner Board and says she's committed to serving in that role. Jenkins Gray was previously fired as HR director for former St. Louis Mayor Tashara Jones.
This dog is preparing to make history aboard a U.S. Navy ship.
Everyone is just really excited to have, a furry companion to go with them when they're underway.
How this good boy is bringing more than just smiles to sailors.
Only a few showers or thunderstorms expected to provide any brief relief from this heat as we head into the weekend. But the end of this long-lasting heat wave is in sight. Why the highest heat indices may come just before the heat finally breaks.
A rescue dog with a big heart and an even bigger mission will soon be providing emotional support to sailors in the U.S. Navy. Brian White introduces us to Raider, who will soon bring comfort and smiles to the high seas.
Raider, come.
Raider was rescued from a crowded shelter in Riverside and adopted by Shelter to Soldier, a San Diego nonprofit that trains service dogs for veterans. Now he's making history, preparing to live full-time aboard a U.S. Navy ship.
While we were visiting sailors on board ships, they were like, I love this. We love when the dogs are here. Can a dog stay with us? And we kind of said, yeah, why not? Let's get you a dog.
Sit. Yes, good boys.
That dog is Raider, currently in training as the first official morale dog through their Canine Ambassador program. His future home, the USS Macon Island.
He's learning to wear his booties. He's learning to wear eye protection. He's learning to go up and down some steep ladder wells.
Raider's job won't involve guard duty or sniffing for explosives. Instead, his mission is emotional support, bringing smiles and stability to a crew of about 1,000 sailors.
They solved another way to kind of bring smiles to the crew, have a four-legged crewmate aboard. What makes you happier than a dog?
The sailors even got to name him. And when Raider officially moves to the ship full-time at the end of the summer, 5 trained handlers will rotate caring for him.
Everyone is just really excited to have, a furry companion to go with them when they're underway.
And Raider's personality is sure to mesh very well with his new shipmates.
he is very goofy, so he is always, doing something to make us laugh or smile, and he would love nothing more than to get belly rubs and lay on a soft bed 24/7.
Raiders Journey is fully funded by the community, including sponsors Karen and Jeff Schabel. It's part of Shelter to Soldiers' mission to serve those who serve, one paw at a time.
Good boy.
Raider will soon join the sailors on the USS Macon Island, which is named after the Pacific island targeted by the U.S. Marine Raiders during World War II. Tonight, recovery efforts continue in Kansas City, Missouri after severe flash flooding. Rainfall yesterday matched a record set in the city in 1900s, according to the National Weather Service. Right now, we don't know if anyone was hurt. The Kansas City Fire Department says it completed at least 10 water rescues since just before 3 this morning. One Good Samaritan says he also stepped in to help.
I got out here about 3:15 this morning, and there was a few cars in the water already, people walking. I was worried about people in the cars, so I've been trying to stop cars and keep them from going into the water.
Flood sirens also rang out just south of Kansas in the small town of Lake Annette this morning. Some residents were forced to evacuate their homes, and local authorities say they don't expect flooding to rise to historic levels like they saw in 2017. Let's check back in with Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell with the weather impact forecast, as we are in a weather impact alert for the next several days.
Yes, really into the beginning of the week and until this heat breaks. That's the reality of it. We think it's going to break along about Wednesday when a cold front comes through. When it does, it should bring us some showers and thunderstorms, but more important, it will scour out this humidity and scour out this hot weather we've been dealing with. All right, so your extreme heat warning, that's been in effect for St. Louis for several days now. Today, extended farther east. That goes over towards Salem, Centralia, down to St. Genevieve, down to Sparta. You're now in that. The rest of us will deal with the heat advisory. All of us are going to be dealing with hot, humid conditions right through the weekend. Overnight lows, we don't get that break. We're still stuck in the 70s, close to 80 degrees during the overnight hours. And yes, we got to stay hydrated and take breaks. That's the reality of this. The only way you can get through heat like this is to continue to drink lots of water. We made it up to 95 degrees this afternoon. The low was 75. Most of the showers and thunderstorms tonight are to our north, but if you've been outside, you know it's pretty muggy. Dew points in St. Louis have come back up after being around 70 this afternoon. They're now in the mid-70s. Still some spots where the dew points east of St. Louis are close to 80. That stays the same going into the weekend. So outside of any random thunderstorms we see this weekend, your heat index values are still in the triple digits. Monday, we're climbing into the upper 90s. We're still humid. And going into Tuesday, we may be pooling or increasing the moisture ahead of the cold front. And that, in and of itself, pushes those heat index values even higher. So that's dangerous heat. If you're looking north of St. Louis tonight, you can see some lightning flashes. All of these storms are fairly small. They're not severe, not in our area, and they are moving to the northeast right now. So they'll be out of Calhoun, Pike, Greene, and northern Macoupin counties within the next 15 to 20 minutes. That should be about it for us tonight. Tomorrow, there is a chance we'll get a spot shower or thunderstorm. Probably not for the City SC match, but it's still hot. Temperatures for SC City tomorrow night, or City SC, will be right around 90 when they take the pitch at 7:30. Tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, here you go, spot showers and thunderstorms. You can expect to see a repeat performance of that going into Sunday. There's a chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms here and there, but it doesn't look widespread at this point. If it is, then we can knock the temperatures down a little bit and we'll get a break. Nobody would complain about that, I don't think. We're in the upper 90s, though, for Monday and Tuesday, and then that front comes through. Kelly, by Thursday, highs are only in the 80s. Some of the computer models are hinting that next weekend there could be some places in our viewing area that don't even hit 80 degrees next
You need
weekend.
to stop. Really?
I am serious.
Oh, my goodness.
And,
Wouldn't that be nice?
Does that make you happy?
Very. All right, thanks, Scott. I'm sure things were very hot over at Busch Stadium, Corey.
Oh, they were. They were spicy too tonight. We got some highlights to show you. We also have a local team playing for a national championship tomorrow. Sports is on deck after the break. Well, the Cardinals roller coaster rolls onward. Before today's game, the Redbirds were just 2.5 games behind the Padres for the final wild card spot. While many around the league and even here at home have labeled the Cardinals as sellers, I think that clubhouse wants to make folks second-guess that assumption. Miles Michaelis had some low approval ratings lately, but he came ready tonight as the opening act for Flow Ride, a post-game concert at Busch Stadium. Some testy moments early. Nick Pivetta hits Wilson Contreras in the second. That's the league-leading 15th time Wilson's been hit this year. He's had enough. He chirps a bit. Padres chirp back. The benches and bullpen empty, but cooler heads did prevail. Michaelis worked in and out of trouble, gets the ground ball out to finish the third here on the throw from Mason Wynn. Then he's going to turn Jake Cronenworth right round with the K. Here it comes. There it is. 5 shutout innings for Miles tonight. Cards up 1-0 in the fourth when Mason Wynn says, "Welcome to my house." He smokes a double into the gap that chases 2 runners home. Cardinals go up 3-0 on San Diego. Stephen Match, JoJo Romero, and Phil Maton had a good feeling tonight as they got the ball to Ryan Helsley in the ninth, who puts everybody's hands in the air. Sing it, Kelly, one more time for his 21st save of the season. Cardinals shut out the Padres 3-0.
And we have 2 more. We've taken the first 2. We'll focus on tomorrow. We want to make sure we take tomorrow's game, and then we'll focus on the 4th game. Then we'll go to their place. They're ahead of us. We're chasing them. We need every game.
Feels good. We've put ourselves in a tough spot, with that last road trip, and I think that shows the fight that we have here in this locker room. There's some young guys and some vets here, but I think everybody's pretty gritty, and we're ready to grind it out anywhere we can, and start winning some meaningful ball games.
This 5 on Your Side St. Louis City SC coverage is sponsored by Together Credit Union.
City SC will brave the Heat in St. Louis tomorrow night. They'll welcome in Minnesota United, who they just acquired 2 players from over the course of the last week. The reality is what it is for City. They're still second to last in the Western Conference table, but Coach is not done trying to motivate his bunch.
So the motivation that I expect from them for 11 games is to give us their best every single game. Whether that's in 5 games down the road, we might mathematically be out the question. I will demand no less than what I've demanded 8 weeks ago from these players, and that's to perform to their best ability.
Tomorrow afternoon, the St. Louis Slam will attempt to make women's professional football history. They will be at the home of the Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio, looking to go back-to-back as champions. It's a 1 p.m. kickoff on ESPN2 as the Slam take on the DC Divas in the Women's Football Alliance Championship game. The Slam, of course, won it all last season and have 5 titles overall. St. Louis is an undefeated 8-0 on the season and are playing for even more than a trophy this year. A number of their veterans are likely retiring after this game, and the team that has become a family wants to send them off the right way.
Because we're such a close-knit family that you're with your family, with your friends, so you get to relax, you get to think about, not think about what happened at work today, your kids, your husbands, your wives, and just come out here and have a good time with each other.
The center and I, Caitlin Erickson, I recruited her, and then so she pushed off her retirement to retire with me. So we've been emotional for the last couple weeks, but I've been trying to enjoy literally every step of this week. So practice, riding the bus, eating together, preparing. I obviously plan to be around next year as a different role, but it is different, so I am literally just trying to soak it up.
Apologies to all the folks at home for all of my flow ride-up and my highlights. But 7th grade me would have absolutely loved that concert over there tonight.
7th grade you, yes. And probably, 20-something me. A party with a purpose, how one neighborhood is using pickleball to help build a closer community. One St. Louis City neighborhood wasn't letting the heat stop their fun. Columbus Square organized a block party at their newly transformed pickleball courts. People were invited to play a few games, enjoy music, free food, and try to win prizes in a raffle. Organizers say events like this emphasize the importance of community.
We can feel like we're in a silo. We have these ideas by ourselves, but it takes events like this to bring the community out and realize that you and your neighbors are feeling the same thing, wanting the same thing for your area.
The new courts are built with a federal grant, part of a broader effort to revitalize the city's near north side. All right, you have a final check on this dangerous heat.
Yeah, hot on those pickleball courts. So you better be drinking a lot of water across the area here. Dangerous heat right through Tuesday. Then we will get a break. But those afternoon heat index values, 100 to 110 degrees in some cases. That's just brutal. CoolDownStLouis.org. You check that out. Make a donation. They could use it.
Absolutely, they certainly can. Thanks so much for joining us. We are always streaming on 5+. Be sure to start your day with Today in St. Louis at 6 a.m. Have a great weekend.
Continue with us on 5+. Download on your TV and watch for free.
St. Louis, a city built on grit, determination, and hard work.
And when it comes to getting the job done, you need a truck that's just as tough.
That's where Broadway Ford comes in. We've got the Ford truck lineup built for every challenge.